Oh, welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, and humanoids, and whatever the hell else watches this fairly obscure channel. We are playing Riven, the sequel to Myst. I am Mashiakosaurus. Riven for Steam is horrendously unstable. I've heard of crashes. I've experienced other bugs. So I don't know how smoothly this experience is going to go. But we're going to go ahead and try it here. Let's take a look at the setup here. This is all running through a virtual machine, which they don't tell you that, but it's I can see the icon for it when it's running on my PC. But this is the original monitor adjustment screen. You just want to adjust the brightness. There's no in-game actual like adjustments. It's all adjust your monitor, which was not common at the time, but it's more common now. And
no, stop that.
And then they have these reference zones. Okay, well that's great. Let's go ahead and let's. Do you have any good options here? Zip mode activated, water effect enabled, transitions fastest. Okay. Wow, that is really ugly. Let's go ahead and start a new game, guys. And hope that this works. This is the one game that Cyan Worlds did that doesn't have, like, the usual logo. So this game takes place some unspecified time after Myst. If you haven't watched my Myst playthrough yet, you should definitely do so. Just because I'm plugging my own shit.
Thank God you've returned.
Yes, I've returned.
I need your help.
Yeah, you do.
There's a great deal of history that you should know. But I'm afraid that I must continue my writing.
Yeah.
Here. Most of what you'll need to know is in there. Keep it well hidden. For reasons you'll discover, I can't send you to Riven with a way out. But I can give you this. It appears to be a linking book, back here to Dunny. But it's actually a one-man prison. You'll need it, I'm afraid, to capture again.
Makes sense.
Once you've found Catherine, signal me, and I'll come with a linking book to bring us back.
Okay, I'll just fire off a flare then.
There's also a chance, if this all goes well, that I might be able to get you back to the place that you came from.
So yeah, this is a direct sequel to Myst. Cyan did not originally want to put Myst on the title of the box at all. They wanted this game to completely stand on its own. Well, that's not a very friendly introduction. Yeah. Yeah. Could you let me out? Yeah. No, you're speaking gibberish.
Tageman. Rekoak. Tagema. So rekoak. Isirap. Umutika boku wa nai. Isirap. Umutika boku wa nai. Boku wa nai. Isirap. Boku wa nai.
Okay.
Boku wa nai. Boku wa nai.
You gotta watch out for them snipers, dude. So, guess I'm just stuck here forever now? You're busy. I'll just wait. Oh. Okay, so we're finally able to actually get into the game. Now, one of the things that's interesting about this game is that a lot of the backstory is actually not told in-game anywhere or in the manual or anything. To get a lot of the backstory, you actually had to read one of the tie-in fucking novels. Which, like, the novels are well written, but the plots of the novels, like the plots of the game, are very stupid. Now, unfortunately, there's a bit of reading required in this to set the mood and, like, all that stuff. I'm going to try to breeze through it as quickly as we can, but some of this is going to have to be, like, read so that you guys understand what's going on. So, they held for more than 30 years, but the corrections I made to Riven have finally failed. The island has resumed the familiar pattern of decay that is the hallmark of my father's work. All of this, like why the island is decaying, why his father's work falls apart like this, all of that is told in the tie-in novel and is never referenced again. I must now race to implement this new patch before it's too late. I only hope that my revised theories are sound. Revisions to Riven completed. There are still a number of minor adjustments which need to be made, but the basic corrections have been entered and should be working. Something's not right. I've been monitoring the instruments for several hours now. The instruments presumably being the instruments on Rhyme, which we saw in the expanded Masterpiece Edition content that we saw in our Myst playthrough, but have thus far observed no change. It's possible that I've made an error, though I've checked my entry against my pre-notation and can find no discrepancy. I've not had a rest in nearly 3 days, so it may be that I'm just not seeing it. If the fault is with my fundamental assumptions, however, perhaps after a short rest I will see something. Success! It appears that my repairs have been effective after all. The gateway image has become noticeably clearer, and although it is impossible to know this with absolute certainty, the island seems to have quieted itself. Just a few more weeks of work, and I should be free at last to go there myself and attempt to bring Catherine back. The past 8 months have left me little time to think, to devise a strategy for getting her out of there. I've received no sign from her in all that time. I am afraid that, no, I must assume that she's all right, lest my fears undermine my efforts to bring her back. So, Catherine, I'll explain it after we're done here. It's really stupid. I did not create the Age of Riven. Unlike my father, I have never presumed to have such power, and yet the future of all those who live there has fallen into my hands. So far, I've managed to read the page before it turns. Well, that's some purple prose right there. The island continues to appear stable, and I would like to believe that I have saved a dying world, but the theories of one individual cannot support the lives of real people indefinitely, whatever that means. I must get everyone off of Riven as soon as possible. The problem now is Gen. I'll never be able to rescue Catherine and relocate the islanders if he is still the man he once was. He never goes into detail about the man he once was. I haven't seen him in over 30 years, but his history forces me to assume that he is still a threat. His myopic mission to restore the Dunny civilization has left too many innocent cultures dying in its wake, and would continue to do so were he to once again be free of the confines of Riven, or the Fifth Age, as he coldly titled it. The universe has been safe from his corruptive influence for the past 33 years because no one has been able to leave that age. The last linking book out of Riven having been lost in the star fissure upon my return to Myst. If you remember in the opening part of Myst, there was a fissure and he talked about the book falling into it and being lost. That was him escaping from Riven. That was my intention, to maroon my father on Riven by removing all the existing links to other worlds. And since the art of constructing books had long been lost with the fall of the Dunny, he would be trapped there for the remainder of his lifetime and effectively separated from the countless other worlds that he would have invaded. In effect, that is what we achieved, but the way it fell, however, was no one's ideal. Though the sting of the incident has gradually faded from my memory, the deep pain of the responsibility for what actually came to be has never left me. At the time, it all seemed so clear. Gen's destructive path could not be allowed to continue, but it was never my choice that the innocent inhabitants of Riven, who had already suffered so much, would be the ones to pay for it. Enough. To dwell in the past is to die in the present. The situation is not the same as it was then. The knowledge I've acquired in the years since that time has yet to be applied to this problem. I think I have the solution. Why it did not occur to me sooner, I do not know, unless the idea of it had been pushed out with the thought of my sons, whatever that means. A prison book. Many years ago, during a hunting expedition through the ruins of Dunny, I chanced upon a formula for a most unusual type of book. Unfortunately, due to the fact that my father was then in the habit of confiscating my discoveries, I was forced to leave it behind. Years later, however, as part of my efforts to protect the vulnerable worlds linked to the books in my library, I was pleased to find that I could still recall most of the formula, and with little experimentation quickly succeeded in creating one of these devices myself. The procedure is actually quite simple. By altering key lines of text but slightly, a normal linking book's connection can be partially severed, such that anyone who attempts to use the book will be permanently trapped in the dark void of the link. That is, unless someone else then uses the book, at which point that person would become trapped and the first person displaced back into the world. The technique can be applied to books that have already been written, changes to the original text being so slight that anyone who is unfamiliar with the code will be unable to detect them. If indeed my father has not changed, what better bait could there be than a book that appeared to link back here to Dunny? Trouble! My nightly analysis of the island's condition has revealed that the tremors have begun again. The pattern, however, is new. The disturbances are the result of the changes I have made. This did not at first concern me, however. Tremors of this type were one of the possible side effects that I had anticipated during this initial phase of the island's readjustment. Still, in order to verify my assumptions, I decided to calculate again, incorporating the new data. The results were not what I expected. The damage to the understructure is more extensive than I'd realized. I can no longer go to Riven as planned. Catherine, forgive me. I must act while I still have the time. The signs are barely visible, but there's no question that the island's deterioration is accelerating. Total collapse is imminent, unless I can keep ahead, and that is becoming increasingly difficult to do. With every passing moment, I gain a clearer picture of the incredible chaos that my father's economy of words has yielded. But it is a dismaying process. The complexity of the problem is overwhelming. There is no end to this. The last few days have all but convinced me that the collapse of Riven is inevitable, and that, at best, I can only strive to delay it now, and hope that at some point the island will become stable enough to risk a rescue attempt. I think I've come up with a way to solve the tremors, blah, blah, blah. Something truly miraculous has happened. Beyond all conceivable probability, someone has finally found my lost Myst linking book and has freed me from this prison. That would be the events of the first game. I immediately realized that this could be the solution to my dilemma, and I believe my mysterious benefactor is willing to assist me. I'm still not sure it can work. The logistics of such a scheme are formidable, but the mere fact that it may now be possible for me to continue my repairs to Riven and yet proceed with my original intent to find Catherine has given me renewed hope. Blah, blah, blah. Remaining problems. It did occur to me, however, that if a way could be found to signal me once Gen had been captured, it would no longer be necessary to take a real linking book to Riven and risk the possibility of inadvertently releasing Gen. The deteriorated state of the gateway image makes the use of a visual signal impossible, but the picture remains a reliable indicator of Riven's condition nonetheless. By measuring and interpreting the vibrations in the noise and patterns, I'm still able to observe basic changes that occur in the age, even though I cannot see them. The problem is that my instruments can only detect changes that occur on a fundamental level, and it seems unlikely that an individual could affect such an elementary change from within an age. So, blah, blah, blah. The star fissure. Sending someone to Riven also means that once I received the signal that they were ready to return, I would have to leave my writing in order to take a real linking book there myself. However, provided my father was safely out of the way, this should take very little time. After that, assuming the island does not incur much damage in my absence, it should then be a relatively simple matter to hold it together long enough for Catherine to return to Riven and evacuate the remaining islanders. Predetermining a signal without knowing the topography of the island may prove to be impossible, but I'm afraid there can be only one answer to the question of whether I should send my friend to Riven with a way out. The potential for failure will be greatly diminished if the prison book is all that is taken there. I'm sure that my father is expecting me to bring a linking book to Riven. May he not be disappointed. Okay, so here's the thing. We know that something happened to Atris's library, and we know that it was his sons that did it. Catherine discovered this and wasn't sure what had happened to Atris. He was trapped in Dunny. She decided to look for him in Riven. This is stupid for all of the reasons that Atris just pointed out about Gen being a madman that they can't release from Riven. But she chose to do it anyway. So now we have to rescue her from this prison that she willingly jumped into like an idiot. You will notice that this one does not have the advanced controls that real Myst had. We actually have to point and click things. Around here, you can see that we've got quite a pit there. We've got this metal plate and this great big gash in the earth. This is actually where the star fissure is. This device right here, this is a telescope, and we'll get to that later. Now, where is it here? This allows us to adjust up and down. And this right here is a manhole cover that we eventually need to open so that we can see into the star fissure. Right here you can see this moiety dagger locking this cage handle in the upright position. The same dagger appears right here. That was something that Catherine did on their escape from Riven that, you know, they never go into. Well, they do, but it's barely explained. And you can see right here the guard that ninja person knocked out is down there. There's other islands. You can kind of see them off in the distance. We're going to go up these stairs. Now, we can cross here, but we're not ready to proceed down there yet. And there's a big gold dome on this island. In here, we have all these weird scarab beetles, and if you look inside them, you get this stained glass interpretation of their story. This is Gen creating the age by writing the Riven book. And I think, yeah, it's this one is next. Yeah, hey, welcome to the show, Luna. Yeah, this is really cool. This is Gen coming to Riven, and everyone basically treating him as a god. This is Gen fighting Atris with the star fissure, and Atris fell into the fissure. Now, from the Islanders' perspective, this was basically like a battle between God and Satan, and God won and cast Satan down into hell. That's what they interpreted it as. Then, Gen created a system of guilds. We'll find that out more specifically later. And here, he began creating books. Which is bad, because that's something that he's not supposed to be able to do. We're going to get clarification on all of those points. But before we proceed anywhere, we're going to go down the far end of the island. And it's very pretty. Love the look of it. There's a little gate here, but notice the moiety dagger down here. You can actually just crawl under that door, making that door completely pointless. And there's a little hatch here where we can see things. And on one of the walls, somewhere, thought I saw it over there. I thought there was a thing to rotate the temple. That's okay, because there's one here. So we hit this button. And that'll actually make this room move. And so now we can see that that door over there goes to a different location. And we're going to keep rotating. That door goes, or that passage goes to that one. That other one is pointing to that other opening in the cave, but you can't see it. Alright. And we can re-enter now if we want. But obviously we can't do anything. One more time. Okay, now what we're going to do, let's hop back down here. And now a new passageway is opened up. Right here, you see there's an icon of the observation telescope thing, and there's a steam vent. We're going to tweak that. Now the steam is going the other way. And we're going to play this game here. We just rotate the room around. And you can see that now we have access to that one room. And we're going to open up that other cage as well. We still can't go this way, because there's a cage over that door. But that's okay. Rotate another couple times. And now we're back to where we started. That's more or less all we need to do at this point. It just opens up some paths that we'll need for later in the game. Here's a room with an interesting machine. Okay, there's a camera watching something. And another camera watching something. We're going to open up that door. Hear kind of a hum 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 hum, but you can't see what it's doing. That's fine. I love, by the way, how in this version, and only in this version, I think, this lever flips back to the incorrect setting every time you do that. Alright, so we're going through this cave and come to this door. And here we are in their temple. They seem to worship whatever this fish thing is, in addition to Gen. Right there's the door back if we wanted to go back into the caves, but we don't. We're going to go ahead and leave through that door that they opened up. And here's the other place that camera was watching. Hit the button here. And you can see the little car thing coming. Okay, folks, we're done on this island. Let's go for a ride. And here we go. This is fun. You'll like this. Here we go. In the original release of this game, this is a point where you would have to switch discs. Because this game came on like 5 CDs. So we're now on a new island. And what's this? Weird eyeball thing in a rock? Okay. And it gives us a weird symbol and a chirping sound. That's for a later puzzle. But there's a secret to said puzzle, and that is that there's always an image of whatever animal makes that sound hidden in the game somewhere near those balls. In this case, if you go into the cave 2 clicks and then turn around, you can see that this is the silhouette of a frog. So, something to keep in mind. And we just go through this cave here. It's lovely texture working and stuff here. And now we have a choice. We can either go up or down. I usually go down from here to start, but, you know, if anyone has any preference, there's really no difference going either way. I'm not seeing anyone give one, so I'll go down. And you can see there's some weird animals up ahead. Not gonna lie, this is why I like to come down. If you go too fast through here, these things will run away. You have to wait for their animations to stop before you proceed. And there's a reason for that. And that's the reason, is that that's the only way you can get them to make their signature sound. And they're gone now. There's another one of these rolly ball things. So, another animal sound. And this one, the image is actually right here. Here's the tail, here's the head, here's the horns. It's the weird monster that they were worshipping in the temple. We will see that later on. All of this is relevant eventually. Eventually can take a while. And we continue on this path. And you'll see these occasionally as you're getting close to the village. So, that guy just sounded an alarm, which is why nobody in the village is going to be out when we get there. And we got this little lagoon here. It's all very neat. Another one of these ball things. Okay, buzzing sound. And if you hit this tap, you get the animal shape. It's some kind of bug.
I don't see a bug.
The head is here, and then it's got
Oh,
legs.
I was looking at the other part.
Yeah, that one's easy to mess up.
Misinterpret because
Yeah.
it kind of looked like a fawn.
I can't go any further this way. So we're gonna have to backtrack. So let's run back. Those monsters, once they're gone, which they left when I got close to that stone eye thing over there, once they're gone, they won't reappear for the rest of your time on the island. You have to actually leave the island before they'll come back. And here, you can see the giant gold dome of the place over there. There's another one of those gigantic daggers, but I don't know if you can get a really good view of it from any vantage point. Yeah, like, you can just kind of see that it's a dagger here. And here we've got another branching path. We can either go to the right or to the left. I'm going to go to the right. Now, if you continue to the right here, you can see that they've been felling trees. You get to this little ditty. We're going to use that, but later. We're going to go here. And here we have a weird bug. And if you put your hand near it, it makes the buzzing noise. So that's the bug that they were trying to signal us about. And here is what's left of their jungle. Once again, the bug flies by. Another dagger right here. Let's go left this time. If we had gone the other way, this is where we would be. And this takes us down into this cave. Nice view of nothing. And down to the docks. And there's a small child there. You can just barely see them. Yeah. And they get rushed away by their parents. So there's another one of those eyeball rock things, but we can't get to it. There's a weird stalagmite with the spyglass. Lots of weird things. Also, the water has holes in it. I don't know if you noticed that. That's a thing. We're going to head into this village. And these are their houses. Now, we're not supposed to know this, but this door actually has the symbol for 5 on it. And if you knock 5 times... Really? There we go. They pop out like you gave them their secret code, but then they see that it's you. There's also some fish hanging here that will become relevant eventually. Alright. We're gonna want to, yeah. Definitely we want that down there. That only makes sense, right? Here is some kind of sacrificial altar, some kind of totem, a little stove. I don't actually believe there's anything else of relevance in this village right at the moment that's immediately accessible. So, I'm gonna skedaddle. Because there's still another area, if you remember, in the village we didn't take one of the routes. And there's a big spinny dome thing. So what's that all about? This is the other path that we could have taken. It leads us to this shrine thing. And this, I really think that this is bullshit. This is one of the most pixel bitching things in the entire game. If you hit that tiny nub on that one little thing that's completely inconsequential, it makes this thing open. Alright, so we're gonna go up first. He's gonna close his jaw. Okay. Now we are up in the treetops. And over here, there's this weird viewer thing. What you want to do is hit this button when the symbol turns yellow. You've got very little time to react to it. I just mashed. And you want to make note of which symbol it is. So it's that thing. Remember that. You won't get another chance to see it. Hope you got that down.
Wow, that was quick.
Yep. And then you can see there's some kind of book in there with some kind of slider puzzle. But it doesn't work right now. So we're going to leave that alone. And then there's this thing. That's going to lift us up, way up over the whole village. And that's really all we needed to do from up here. And then we're going to put ourselves back. Riven is very beautiful, and it's it's definitely got a mysterious vibe to it. Like, it feels like this is some kind of weird alien world with a completely bizarre culture. And you're trying to figure out the rules of it as an outsider with no prior experience.
It helps that there's signs of life.
Yeah, it's not like Myst.
Myst feels empty and devoid of life.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's still a pretty game, but it feels empty.
Yes, it does. And the other games in the series handle that emptiness in different ways, and it works to different extents. Riven is one of the ones that I think is the best in the series. Oh, hey, kid. That's a cute kid. I think that
She's probably an adult.
yeah, most likely. Oh wait, nope, that's not the way I want to go. All right, where am I going here? No, wait, I'm already confused. Ah, I know. I gotta go all the way back. That's what's happened is if you go too fast. I thought that they only respawned if you left the island. Apparently I was wrong. But yeah, that's what happens if you go too fast. And then you'll see them swim out. And they won't make their noise. You won't know that that's what makes that sound. And we're gonna go over here. Here, over here. And over to this. And now we have this little submarine thing here. Okay. So here's how this works. This turns us around. This determines if we're going to take left or right at a crossroads, and this makes us go. Now we're going to turn around again. So, to the right, that's where we came from. Let's go left. We've got several places we want to hit on this. But the most important one, if I'm remembering my locations correctly, is this one. So now we're in another one of those bubbles of air. Which is completely bizarre, but like they acknowledge it later on. We're gonna get out and oh poo. The ladder's not extended. So we need to extend the ladder. Turn her around. This is a multi-step process. Now, you may have noticed that we haven't traveled to any other ages yet. Riven actually only has 3 ages in it, and 2 of them are extremely small. Like, the size of, like, a single room or, like, 2 rooms. This one is the main one, Riven itself. We're going to spend most of the game here, which is unusual for a Myst game, but, you know, they wanted to do something different. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now we have an elevator, or a ladder above us. We can actually climb out. And all it offers us is this ladder right here. Hope you're not afraid of heights, folks. Alright, So what we've just done is we've extended the ladder at all points where the boat can dock. It's not at all obvious the first time through, but that's what that does. Take 2. I'm not sure what these islands are officially called. They do have official names, but I only know them from their pseudonyms that some walkthrough came up with way back in the day, because I needed a walkthrough for one of the final puzzles, and you'll see why. But the name I know this island by is Jungle Island, because it's got the jungle on it. And the other one that we were on is Temple Island, because it had temple on it. Those aren't the official names. Those are just the names I know. So we're going to go into this room right here. Hey, what is all this nonsense?
Terekoi Danni, Kibayem Revat, Alroyem Betik Tavom, Kapogona Gayem.
I couldn't have put it better myself. By the way, that cage probably looks familiar.
Ram.
Interesting, no? Here we have gibberish writing on the wall that looks like Elvish. And what looks like an alphabet or something up on the walls there. Over here we've got a plate of fruit, some writing, lots of weirdness. But this is what we're actually here to see. This is a little game. This is one of those fish monsters that we keep seeing icons of. And these are people being dangled in front of it. Alright. So we get this symbol, and he goes down 1 increment. This symbol, he goes down 2. This symbol, 5. What this is, that's 7, 2, and 5. This is teaching us how numbers work. This should be 6. Ten. 2, but it's on its side. So 1 on its side is 5 times 1. 2 on its side is 5 times 2. You see how this goes. There's also a symbol for 3 and a symbol for 4, but I already know them, and we'll encounter them later. So You have to learn how to count in their numbering system. It is a goofy ass base 20 fucking 5 system. So, you know, be prepared for confusion. But the symbology is easy enough. You really just need to know your numbers 1 through 5, and then after that, you can figure everything out. Okay, now we actually want to go over here this time. This is the last place we need to hit up on Jungle Islands for a bit. And if you didn't notice it before, there's one of those eyes floating in the lake. This is their system of justice. It's incredibly goofy and stupid. They have this bar, and just like in the game, they dangle people over this pit. If Gen is watching up at the top, if he decides that you're guilty, he opens the floor and the monsters can eat you. And if he decides that you're innocent, while explaining that, I waited too long and that thing went away. If he decides that you're innocent, then he closes the floor and the monsters can't eat you. That's the implication. They never outright tell you things. But, I mean, there's manacles on this, plus the game. You know, it all starts to come together. But what we're going to do is we're going to hitch a ride on this thing. Hey, just chilling in there? Cool, cool. So that's where prisoners go. With that extended, now we can use this as a shortcut to get to this part of the area. Now, we're going to want access to that cage. Let's go talk to that guy. Oh. Well, that's interesting. He vanished. He probably escaped through this drain pipe. Or the coat hanger that's in the drain pipe. Oh ho! Well, would you look at that?
It really destroys the immersion, right? You know, when anybody's doing remote moments to stumble out and scream, what's all this then?
What's all this then? Alright, so this cave is completely dark, as you can see.
Points for anyone who figures that one out.
And it just leads to the water. But if you light these on your way back... Oh. There was a thing back there. Which we will take a look at, but I just want to make sure that all of them are lit. So now we can actually see. Right here, we switch the wall, we go a different way, and it leads us to this room. Some of these symbols we probably recognize. Some we don't. We have to figure out what we need to hit here to make this stuff work. We don't have the answer to that puzzle yet. But we will. As you've probably guessed, it has to do with those animal sounds on those goofy things. We found 3 of them, but we have not found all 5. We need the full code to go through. And by now you should recognize that the symbols that we saw on those things, when we flipped them over, were numbers. So we have like numbers like 1, 3, and 2, I believe, but we're missing 4 and 5. We're gonna go this way, and we're gonna catch a cart ride. So they fell the lumber, and they put it in this little cart, and they send it through hell, as one does. I love these roller coaster rides between islands. They're really cool. Lumber ends up at the end of the track here. And then a trap door opens up, throws it down the chute, and into this thing, which, if it was working, it would do something, but it's not working. Because nothing is ever easy in Myst games. This thing right here can route power to one location.
Sounds like Vader's.
We're gonna route it over here so we can see what the fuck this does. Although I think you can guess. Yep. It's a wood chipper, hence the big pile of sawdust.
That's how you dispose of the bodies.
So, he chops up wood into pulp, and then puts it in a giant boiler machine. Now, we can't go in there because, as you can see, it's too red. But with this, we can do some things. That'll drain the water out. That sounds like it turned off the burners, and that raised that up. Great. Perfect. I'm sure that we're all very thrilled. Before we do anything else, let's redirect power again. So now, because it's not red, We can go inside here. There's no water in it. There's no fire. We can crawl right through this thing. This is where excess steam and other water runoff goes. But, and let's go down here. That's a shortcut. You have to unlock that. So if you haven't figured it out, this is a place where they manufacture paper. And right here we have an interesting device. Let's bait it and send it down. There's also a fan up there, but we can't do anything with that because it's moving and we chop our hands on it. Now, most of the doors, if you've noticed, close behind you. These ones didn't. Because they're actually hiding another passageway. Which is a dick move on the part of the game developers, but whatever, I'll give them a pass on it. Hey, it's another one of these things. Except there's no viewfinder thingy. But you know what? That one door down here did close. Oh, look at that. And here's our viewfinder thingy. You watching? You watching? Need to know the symbol. Yeah, there you go. You won't get another chance to see it, ever, so hope you saw it.
Which is kind of a dick move.
It's okay, that's not even the least of the dick moves with the puzzle involving that, so...
Still a dick move.
This is related to the puzzle that I actually needed the walkthrough for, so...
Still a dick move.
It is a dick move, absolutely, I'm just saying. Alright, so whatever that was, we did it. Can't seem to get into there. Oh hey, our trap caught something. Brightly colored frog, you should definitely lick it. So, yeah, that was just to tell you what that sound was. What animal makes that sound. Now we've turned off the fan, we can go through here. And, ta-da! Here we are in Gen's personal laboratory. He's got one of these rolly ball things, but it doesn't make any sound. Okay, that's number one. Last week, while monitoring the situation of the villagers from the scope in my survey room, we haven't been there, I observed one of the natives swim out to a small object that appeared to be floating but anchored, near the entrance to the bay. I ordered the object removed from the water for inspection. Several days later, however, I was surprised to see another floating there. The missing object had apparently, and quite mysteriously, been replaced with a new one overnight. I've long been aware of the existence of similar artifacts on the villagers' island, but have paid them little notice until now. Tomorrow I shall send surveyors to catalog the others. So this is one of the ones that was in the middle of the bay. But we don't know what animal is associated with that. We only know that it's number 1. But if you remember, there's a rule about these. There's always a picture somewhere that shows you what the animal is. And if you'll remember, there was a picture. There was an animal. It was those fish hanging from the what's-it. But we'll find more about that later. Here's all of Ged's stuff. This is apparently his pipe. It looks needlessly complicated. This is his gun, which just looks goofy as shit. And this book right here has some important stuff for us. The latest ink formulation has proven a failure. Even when writing in my most promising books, I obtain only the barest glimmer of a connection. It is frustrating to expend so much effort creating a blank book, only to end up destroying it when it doesn't work. There are days when the lab is uncomfortably warm from the flames of these failed attempts. The further I refine each element, the formulations of the inks and papers, the physical dimensions of the books, the more I realize that the list of potential combinations is nearly infinite. It is during moments like these that I despair. Without access to Dunny, my long-term goals may never be accomplished. Nevertheless, there are avenues of research which remain to be exploited. I am discontinuing regular observations of the stars beneath the fissure. Although I've been able to track the dark cloud-like formations that migrate through the star field and have proven that their paths are cyclical, without proper instrumentation, it is pointless to continue. My general theory concerning the nature of the fissure has remained unaltered since it first appeared. It seems that the fabric of this age has been breached in a way that permits matter to be hospitably exchanged between two discrete but overlapping spaces, much like a link, but the apparent physical contradictions surrounding this juncture defy logical reason. The great column of wind that was formed when the fissure first appeared suggests a vacuum as one might expect in space, yet my early experimentations revealed the presence of a breathable atmosphere. That Atris and Catherine threw themselves into the void is further evidence that it might be safe to travel, but without knowing its true nature, I cannot take the risk myself. It is also difficult to say what would happen if I were to reopen it after so long, but it is likely that the results would be catastrophic, given the changes that have occurred in this age since that time. Maintenance on the steam vent caps completed. I am extremely pleased with the continued success of this system. I believe the construction to have been true to the Dunny designs of my memory, another example of the superiority of the Dunny technology. It's ironic that Atris and Catherine unwittingly provided me with such a convenient source of power. So he's capping thermal vents and using them for energy. As with many of my views over the years, my thoughts regarding the origins of the fissure have changed. I have recently begun to wonder whether it was an unexpected byproduct of the changes Catherine and Atris wrote into this age during their escape. Certainly, by casting their linking book into the void, they trapped me here quite effectively, but I do not believe that Atris intended the book to be lost in this manner. Much better to destroy it than to risk the possibility of its falling into unknown hands. Also, had they foreseen the creation of the fissure, they would surely have thought that the vacuum it created would eventually consume the atmosphere of this planet, a fate which Catherine undoubtedly would have deemed unacceptable for her home world. Yeah, Catherine is from Riven, a bit that this is the first mention of. If I had not been there to supervise the construction of the seal, this is most certainly what would have happened, for the villagers were far too frightened to even approach the vortex without my urging. I hold on to the belief that it was an unintended consequence of their writing for another reason as well. I prefer to think that my son had meant for this age to be merely a prison for me rather than a death sentence. The construction of the imagers has proceeded without fault. It is interesting to see how easily I've been able to adapt the Dunny technology to mimic that of the Ahmad. I don't know what that is. In some ways, the similarity between the two cultures was striking. I wonder if perhaps there had been communication or commerce between the two cultures in earlier times. Maybe Keda's people were even descendants of the Dani. It pleases me to think so. So this is probably the native culture here. And here's some technical sketches of these imagers. Note, it's possible that if I were somehow able to supply the books with a power source of sufficient magnitude, I could suppress the variance enough to facilitate a solid link. It is doubtful that the geothermal cap generators could provide such an enormous surge. Perhaps I could adapt the fire marbles. I've been cataloging the natural elements of this age for nearly 30 years now, yet still I continue to find the evidence of the Dani's preoccupation with 5. As a boy, it was very clear to me that the number 5 had a special significance to the Dani society. From the ancient heraldic emblems of the ruling elite to the humble homes of the commoners, it was ubiquitous. Its presence here is obviously a direct reflection of the minds that designed the text that I used to compose this age. Further proof that through their art, the Dani masters were indeed creating the marvelous worlds they wrote, and not, as many have mistakenly thought, merely building links to pre-existing worlds. While most of my construction here has been based on Dani designs, I see now that the ones I have imbued with the power of 5 are clearly the most beautiful, the most perfect, and, I believe, the most structurally sound. Hey, Copal Records, welcome. I enjoy this game a lot. This is one of my favorites in the series. I am still attempting to determine how the Dani color symbology reflects the suspicious design principle. Although superficially it is based on a 6-color system, I am convinced that there has to be a deeper connection to 5. I will continue to investigate. And here he lists the symbol for the 6 core colors in the Dani culture. This is important for later for reasons. I finally made a breakthrough. I have succeeded in modifying the fire marbles to generate enough power to hold a descriptive linking book in a stable matrix. I have linked to a new world. It is a harsh and desolate age, but it is nonetheless well suited for my purposes, and so I have designated it my something. You know how this numbering system works by now, but I'm too lazy to do the math on that. It's 400 and something. By studying it closely, I believe I will eventually be able to create a more appropriate age for us to resettle on. For now, I will build an office and set up my living quarters there, in order that I may conduct my experiments in safety and without distraction. I must admit that I am proud of my work. To think that in such primitive conditions I have accomplished in 29 years what it took the original Dani centuries to achieve. No, repair outerwear for work on this world. The goggles may need to be redesigned altogether. I have begun construction of a series of link sites for each island that will connect Riven with my new office on blah blah blah. The Survey Guild has finally completed the site location for each island, according to my exact specifications, and installations of the domes is underway at last. Work on the central power source got off to a bit of a bad start, I'm afraid, but the pace has picked up considerably since then, and I anticipate no further delays. I'm looking forward to finally having a civilized mode of transportation. And here is a sketch of the domes. We've seen these domes already, and these grid patterns represent the 5 islands. Due to the rebels' continued disturbances, I've decided to install a coded access system into all of the domes. This is what we need this journal for, right here. And we have to know how to read this. Sorry, I'm pulling out my phone so that I can write this down. This is generated on the start of each playthrough, and it's different for every run that you do of this game. So I need to write this one down.
AKA take a picture with the phone.
Yes. And let's not do a selfie. That would be kind of pointless.
But funny.
So that appears to my eyes to be 5, 7, 11. This is 4, so that would be 14, and then that's 3, but it's times 5 because it's on the side, so that's 15. So 5, 7, 11, 14, 15. And then blah, blah, blah. I don't think that there's anything more that we need from this journal. He does mention about the water on this age being interesting, and we'll see evidence of that. I actually thought it was this thing right here, but I guess not. So there's other places, though, that we can go here. Right here, you can see where he destroys the books that don't work. And it's completely dead. There's no link. And over here, there's more interesting things. Here you see a 5-star shape. Here he's got a book in the works, stamping various books, various things. Here he's got a press for whatever reason. Ah, there's the water thing. Right here. There we go. So, here's how this works. There's bacteria in the water. And if the water is heated, the bacteria will flee to survive it. So, heating water in this age makes water go away from it. The natives all boil their water in order to make it drinkable. Seems a little deadly, but you know, that's just my opinion. Here he's got bird shells. Fascinating if you're into that sort of thing. Here he's got alchemy stuff, I guess. And here's his little trap
Isn't
thing.
that just a distiller, though?
Yeah, probably.
So maybe he was studying the bacteria.
Maybe. Dude does a lot of stuff. You know.
Well, when you literally have no one to talk to and nothing else to do, I guess that's the best use of your time.
Yeah. Now, I believe that's unlocked now. We could take the bridge back to Temple Island, but there's a staircase that needs to be adjusted, I believe.
So this is the guy's work you're looking through is the main guy's dad?
Yes, this is Atrus's dad.
Okay, so he's evil.
Yes, he's evil, because evil skips a generation in Myst games, as we all know. So, I need to go and hit that button to call our ride. No, it's over here. No, come on, game. So, that was the island that I have come to know as Boiler Island, because it has a giant boiler on it. There's 2 more islands to Riven, one of which we won't see very much of, because it's endgame content. While we're doing this, by the way, fun fact, but if you save your game at the very beginning of the game, and then learn Gen's passcode for the manhole, hey, Mephras, welcome to the show here. which we still don't have the manhole code yet, but we will. If you... Oh no, this is pretty, isn't it? I mean, in an ominous sort of way. If you load your game and use that passcode to open the manhole before doing anything else, just turn on the Steam to it and then open that manhole up and open the fissure, which you can do. That will actually screw up the ending. And, well, I say screw up. I don't know if it's screwing it up or if it's intended, but... So this thing right here... gives us sort of a topographical extrusion map of each island. And I'll be honest, I forget what the purpose of that is. Here there's a little, well, now here's a problem. The viewer has been knocked out of alignment. Did you see that symbol? Because if not, you're never going to see it again. And also, it's impossible to see because, you know, the viewer wasn't pointed at it.
Well, how is that fair then?
Oh, it's not. It's not at all. This is the thing that we've got the code for. But we don't have the power running to them yet, so we still don't have the ability to use them. This machine right here is an important part of what I have come to call the colored ball puzzle, which also has to do with those domes, and it is the most infuriating puzzle in the game. And I will be cheating because fuck this puzzle. So this thing right here, whenever you hit a space on the grid, it shows you the topography of that island in that location. And
It sounds horrible.
you see that dome right there? You need to figure out where that dome is within this grid. But you have to have it properly aligned. This is the proper alignment for this island. Now, and I do now remember what this does. Notice that it's the same island that I had selected. If I select a different island, and wait and wait and wait for this island to bubble up. Just wait for my cursor to come back. There we go.
Nice transition.
Thank you. Now it's a different island. This is the island that we're currently on, which I call Spike Island. I'm not sure if that's the official name or not. But you can see that sometimes these domes are kind of hard to place exactly where they're at. So yeah, I'm going to be cheating on that puzzle and just looking up the answer because fuck it. But I wanted to show you how you solve that. And that's part of it, is that you have to know the location, the exact grid coordinates of every dome throughout all of the islands.
So you can put a marble on it.
Yes. It all ties together, trust me. We're not actually done on this island. We're gonna turn around. There's still much more to learn. Oh my. It's a nice place he's got here. Very Arabesque. Now he's got... I know it looks like lava. It's actually a pool of water with heat underneath it to keep that layer of water floating. The game is actually fairly consistent about how it deals with the water and its response to heat, which is kind of cool. I'm not saying it's scientific or anything, I'm just saying it's consistent. And in we go. Let's descend. Anytime now. Okay, so now we're on the lower levels. And we're going to go through here. Oh. Hey there, I mean, you don't have to run. Can I have my cursor back? Well, I didn't want to talk to you. Right here, we have Gen's little observer device. Let's turn it on. It's very pretty. Okay. Now we have this thing with every one of those color symbols on it. This is how we learn what the different colors are. So that's blue. That's green. That's yellow. That's orange. That's red. Red is this island. Or at least this location. And that is that monster fish thing that we keep seeing icons of.
It's like a hump-headed grass.
Yeah. The red light pisses him off, and we're gonna keep doing that. Because, you know, that shit's funny. As soon as my cursor comes back. Yep, me again.
Will he do something if you keep pissing him off?
Yes, he will. See, he's now he's used to it. He's not as impressed. He's just like, yeah, whatever. I've seen it.
If you start singing Roxanne, then I'm gonna walk away.
Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. Yeah, what you gonna do about it, buddy? You gonna fight me? Oh, he is actually gonna fight me. From here on out, he just basically ignores it. He screams at it and like swims by or something, but he doesn't keep responding. Anyway, So we need to throw that away. So that's how you figure out what color corresponds to what island. And you need to know what location. But remember that there are 2 islands that you can't figure out. This one's just a prison cell. That's Catherine. That's who we're coming to rescue. And this... Remember that weird stalagmite in the bay? That's this place. And hey, look at that. There's the fish symbol with the eye as the floating ball. Okay, so that's everything we need to learn from this island. Let's power down. And if we take this, we'll end up back at Jungle Island. But I don't actually want to go there. I want to head to the back end of Temple Island. For the moment. And here we are again. We're actually getting fairly far into this game here. We're almost to the end of it. There's a couple more major plot points that we still need to deal with, but we'll deal with those. You will notice, though, that I said that there's 5 islands. We've only been to 4. We've been to Temple, we've been to Jungle, Boiler, and now that island back there, which I call Spike, because of the giant rock spikes. But we haven't been to the last island. In fact, you cannot get to the last island from any of these without using a warp. Remember how the colored ball puzzle requires you to find a dome on every island that you visit? And that dome tells you what color is associated with that island? Yeah. So. Really? Yeah, okay. I forgot about that. Sigh. Actually, never mind that. Let's go back the other way. This will only take us a few hours to backtrack across the entire freaking map. This world is actually fairly small if you think about it, but that's okay. Oh, I gotta go there. Okay. Up here. And we'll trigger the minecart going in reverse. We are still missing that fourth symbol to solve that puzzle. Okay, so this takes us right back to the forest. Let's get out of that. And we're going to have to go back to Temple Island. Oop. Well, it should be there. Because I apparently forgot to hit something. I'm racking my brain trying to remember where the one thing is. I got an idea of where it might be. I mean, really, we could solve the puzzles now just from, like, logical extrapolation of where we want to go, but... Okay. Hey, look at that. The man himself. So if you haven't figured it out, the imager that we found back in here allows you to sit on that throne and project yourself. Which means that Gen was back there, but he's already gone by this point. So there's no point in trying to chase him down. Let's go ahead and rotate this a couple times. I obviously forgot something with this puzzle. Alright. That's already done. That's already done. Sitting here waiting. Still sitting here waiting. Okay, and that's that place. Alright. We can't actually do anything. I don't know how many of these I have to hit. Just two. That gets us back to where we were. Sort of. Rotation, rotation, rotation. Alright, this should be the correct location now, I think. Nope, I'm wrong. If you don't mind, I'm gonna skip the animation on this. Well, I was gonna skip the animation. Apparently the skip animation button is no longer spacebar. So I guess I'm gonna watch the animation.
Can I remove one of these?
Yes. Rotate, rotate, rotate.
I need to charge my pop baby.
Okay, there we go. This is where we need to do this.
I don't know if that's in there.
This right here shows power distribution to all the islands.
Wow. Okay.
And there's this long... Oh, I assure you, like, stuff is going to break regardless.
There.
Right here, this is what I needed to hit earlier. In order for that to be functional. So now, that opens the back passage up. And here, that activates another doodad. And there's a thingy here, but we can't hit it where we're at. Let's run back. Fast clicks. And we need to get here from the backside to extend that bridge. Notice, though, that now, when I hit this lever, it'll do a thing. At the moment, I don't want it to do a thing, so I'm going to undo that thing. But we will need that for later. Looks very stable. 10 out of 10, good construction. Here you can get a nice overview of the islands. And here you can see a ladder, or a railing, whatever. Fast clicking! Well, that worked against me. I do wish that they would make a Riven remake along the lines of real Myst. Which they might, I mean, for all I know. Like, they've remade Myst again, so who knows. And again, need to warn people that this version is buggy as shit, the version from Steam, and there's a decent chance that we won't actually be able to complete it even if we complete it.
Which kind of sucks.
Yep, really sucks. But such is the nature of old school Cyan games. They definitely will not fix it. Just wait until I have to do Uru, and I'm required to run fraps at one part to limit the frame rate because it will break the game if I don't. That is a real thing, by the way.
I'm aware.
Running Uru... Oh, no, let's go now. Yeah, go away. Running Uru on modern PCs requires you to run fraps or something similar to limit the frame rate in one section of it, or you'll get a game-breaking bug that will make it impossible to complete. Yep, this guy again. And that bug has been in the game since launch, so that's cool. I believe we can get... No, we have to... There's no way to call the sub. Okay. This is the fun part, is trying to remember how to backtrack through half the goddamn game. Okay, we want to go into the jungle. We want to go to the fish head. We need to have it open. There is a passageway I did not show you before. You can go down. I'm thinking that down might lead us to our last animal symbol. It also leads us to the passageway from Spike Island to here. That's where the one guy in the ropes ran away from us. Okay. Ah, there we are. Maybe not. Or maybe it's on the other side. Regardless, I'm moving on because we actually have enough information to solve that puzzle. I think you have to flip that card around to get the last puzzle piece, but since I don't feel like backtracking to that again, yep. Let's go down. And we can climb up here into the jail cell. Use the gutter hanger to open up the wall. And go down here. We now have enough information that we can actually solve this. We haven't found every single one of these animal symbols, but we've found enough of them to know what's what. So, fish was number 1. We saw that in Gen's lab. Number 2 was beetle. Number 3 was frog. Number 4 is the one we never found, but through logical deduction, we can assume it's this creature because we heard its noise. And number 5 is this thing. Okay. Exactly how that triggered that to happen, I'm not sure, but let's just roll with it. So here we have a weird burned book with this weird lens thing on it that takes us to this thing. If you've ever seen the cover of Riven, this place should look familiar. because this was on the cover. This is one of the 2 ages that we go to other than Riven in this game. Yep, looks cool. Can I, thank you. Well, we're on the shore of a lake. Oh, there's stuff back here. Well, it's just a... Oh. Well, that sucks. Not a game over.
Did you meet the natives?
I met the natives. They were not friendly. Do not recommend. And so they're going to take me to their little hive tree thing. It's a pretty great world you guys live in here. Could you not afford a sun? Or
Could just be
just
night.
a floor lamp? Okay. And here we wake up in this little prison cell. That's where we were. And here's where we are. But it's a prison. We can't actually leave. I'm waiting patiently. Oh, hey. Yeah, that's what I assumed. Why are you dressed as a Roma? Also known by the racist term gypsy? Sure. Okay, so she gives us 2 things. One of them is Catherine's journal. The other one is a linking book back to Dunny. Or not. If you remember at the very beginning, this one is Catherine's journal. At the very beginning, remember that we had the fake prison book and it was stolen by one of these ninja guys. So she gave it back to us. And this is Catherine's journal, which is not terribly important. Blah, 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 blah. I write this quickly from my prison. Whoever will return your book, which the moiety intercepted upon your arrival. After questioning her, I've concluded that it was written by Atris for a very specific purpose. Gen will desire to use it, although he may have suspicions. If you can find my prison, you will still need the combination to relieve me, or to release me. Gen keeps it in his office. Then I assume we're to signal Atris. I think I know how it might be done, but don't signal him before I am released. Catherine. Okay, great. Blah, 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 blah. Catherine goes on quite a bit, and most of what she says here is not terribly important. She doodles a lot. The game also wants you to believe that Catherine might have let things go to her head and believes herself to be like some kind of goddess or something, but it's pretty poorly written and doesn't actually come off this way. we keep going. She explains how she constructed the lens and stuff. And this right here is important. So this is the combination to the manhole. We need this. And again, this is generated when you start your game, and it's different on each playthrough. So that was what we really needed to have from this journal. And also she notes that there's a stop on the viewer. We'll show you that in a bit. But she goes on and on and on for quite a while about giving this place to the... it's not terribly important. It's just backstory, and it's not good backstory, like explaining why people are doing this. It covers most of what we've already seen. That Gen put the ingredients to make his books into all of his worlds, and how they use this special lens to create a link through a burnt book and created this age and blah blah blah. They're going to move everybody here once Riven kerplodes. And that's all we do here. We're done. Nella, or whatever her name is, gave us this. We're going to go back. Now we have everything we need, sort of, to solve the dreaded colored ball puzzle. But we've got to go to the backside of Temple Island in order to use it. And the backside of Temple Island is accessed through Spike Island, so we gotta go there. And that means using fish mouth, if I remember correctly. I've never shown you guys from this angle. I'm remembering now, too, that there's a spot in the jungle where you can walk off and find that last... Let me see if I can find that. I do believe there's a spot in here somewhere. Ah, there we are. So there's where that is. We figured it out through deduction because it was the last creature that made a sound, but... And I'm going the wrong way again. Okay. Open up fish mouth. And now I'm realizing that I'm going the correct path to get to Spike Island, but I actually don't want to be on Spike Island. I want to be on Boiler Island. Folks, this is the quality entertainment that I bring to my streams every week. If you are enjoying my complete flailing and idiocy, then, you know, like and subscribe and send me all of your money. Like... I mean, you may be thinking that you need it for, like, food and water and stuff, but I need it for video games. So, I mean... Like, yeah. In all seriousness, folks...
You're trying to find validation online from strangers again, aren't you?
I'm always trying to find validation from strangers online, but in all seriousness, folks, we are nearing the end of this game, and I hope you have enjoyed my nonsense so far, but the last time that I played this, I got as far as the colored ball puzzle, and I was able to solve that puzzle correctly, but the combination to the domes did not work, and my playthrough was stalled at that point, and I was not able to complete the game. We will see what happens this time. I don't know if that's a known bug. I know that there are a lot of bugs in this version. I mentioned it before. So, here we go. End game time here. We are going to go around this and over to this hidden stair or hidden ladder. Climb up, turn around, go in, turn around, close doors. Run down the boardwalk, accidentally go into Gen's lab, which I didn't want to do. It's very pretty out here. Anyway, so now we have access to this, and we have access to all of that stuff now. Which means that now I can do this. Because I'll be able to get there in a second. So, we're going to go over here. We're going to be annoyed because there's no way through there. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ho-ho! Open this door. Okay, which side is that's the short side and that's the long side. I gotta play musical chairs for a moment, folks, so bear with me. Okay, good, good. Round and round she goes. Okay, that's the steam, and this is... Alright, let's go this way and do it from here, because this way... Whoop, too far. Well, actually, I can show you while we're here. And by the way, remember this guy? He's gone. So he wasn't dead, maybe. Okay. We've removed the stop. And let's go ahead and see if we can get this open. It looks like the code is 15122. So now you can see, and this allows us to focus it. Now, we can play around with that more, but we're getting into like bad end territory. I'll show you when we get to that point. But for right now, we'll just leave the manhole open. Okay. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the absolutely dreaded colored ball puzzle. So it should be obvious at this point what we have to do. What we need is to... One second. I need to look up an explanation or a solution for this. So this island right here, we've never been to. We have no idea what color that is. We have the location for all 5 islands, thanks to Spike Island, or we should have. I skipped over that part of actually noting it down, but I showed you how to get it. And then, in addition, we know what the colors represent, but there's a catch. This one, we don't know what color is assigned to it. And one of these islands, we don't know what the color code was for it. And one of these, I skipped showing you, but one of these, the viewer is broken. The light is broken, so we don't know what color one of the symbols represents. So yeah, it sucks. There's trial and error involved, and there's no way around it. Unless you cheat, which I am doing right now, and you can, call me out for being a cheater, but whatever. I am just going to put these where they go.
Well, I mean, no offense, it's really hard if you lack, like, proper spatial awareness, too, because this is like a plain grid. There's, like, no way to know what's what.
Oh, yeah, you can kind of see slightly darker edges in places, but that should be the solution.
The solution never changes.
The solution never changes. But there is guesswork involved in finding the solution. Like, it is unavoidable unless you cheat. Like, you will have to guess at some of these and do trial and error. Okay, if that happens, you did it right. And now, I'm going to spin this around 3 times. So now we've powered the domes. Now we can finally get to Gen's age. We can use any of the domes we want to do this. The code that Gen encoded is the same for all of them. race over here. And we're going to go all the way downstairs. And get to this point. And we're going to hit that button. Okay. This gives us access to our final thing, which technically we should have done earlier, but that's okay. Because it's just the colored ball puzzle. Did I? Which we've already solved. There. Okay. Now, code from earlier was 5, 7, 11, 14, 50. That's 10. That's 15. 14. Working backwards here. 11. 7, 5. Oh, thank goodness. It worked. Now, if we wanted to, we can hit this button here and we can escape out of here. I'm going to save the game. And resume. It's time to see some endings, folks. So this is Gen's age. His 400 and I don't know. It was a 2-digit figure in base 25, so. Again, your age looks like butts. Also, how do all these rock formations stay like that? Like, wouldn't they just fall over? Here we are. This is Gen's office. If we want, we can travel to any of the domes that we have access to. But we can't get out of this cage. So we're going to call Gen.
I apologize for the cage. I'm afraid this situation has often required a more primitive code of conduct than I might otherwise have chosen.
Yeah, sure.
I am Gen. I assume you've heard of me. Yes. Well, I suspect you have acquired some false information of who I am now. Not that my son would have lied to you about me. No, not Atris. It's just that, well, I'm sure he believes me to still be the depraved father I once was. Yes. I even tried to kill him once. God, if I had accomplished that, who knows what I would have become.
I think we all
Great
want to kill
father
Atris.
indeed, who tried
I
to
mean,
murder
yeah,
his own
wanting
son.
to kill Atris should not be a crime.
Thankfully, he trapped me on age 5, a prison of my own creation. No books, no precious inks. no ages to link to, nothing but my own foolish ambitions. That was 30 years ago. 30 years, 30 lifetimes, what does it matter? No sentence could be too harsh for the man I was. But I have changed. To be sure, the deeds of my past can never be completely atoned for, but my mission was an honorable one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is all a bit awkward. It's been a long time since I've attempted to persuade anyone of my intentions. Most of the people here have already made their minds up about me one way or another. I myself do not trust the words of most men, so I don't expect you to believe me. In the end, though, you may discover that I do have more than mere words to offer.
If you come back with a severed head, I'm going to be very upset.
Atrus's choice of punishment has been hard on the people of Riven, and many have suffered because of it. The island has been steadily decaying for years, but according to my most recent measurements, it appears that the Fifth Age has entered its final days. Unless the villagers can be relocated soon, the island will collapse entirely and everyone will perish. It has taken me a long time to do it, but it appears that finally I'll be able to make some substantial amends to my past transgressions, especially in... well, I'm afraid I've had some trouble with Catherine and the moiety.
The moiety's the rebel faction that was in
In
Catherine's
any
stream.
society, there will always be a small percentage of the population with rebellious tendencies. Before Catherine appeared, the moiety, as they call themselves, had been relatively harmless. I mean, the natives here are a fairly violent people by nature, but I
Yeah, that's
almost
what
come to accept their presence. It seemed inevitable under the circumstances. Upon Catherine's return, however, their violence intensified considerably. It seems she's become some sort of religious savior to them. And as far as I can tell, she's come to believe this herself. So I've had no alternative. I had to separate her from her people. I must admit, though, that my concerns were not entirely for her safety alone. The actions of Catherine and the moiety have put my own life at risk on numerous occasions. Consequently, the lives of all the people here.
Is this going
Therefore,
to...
I must ask you to refrain from any attempt to free her. Although I'm sure Atrus desires it. Indeed, he must desire it with all his heart. But he is completely unaware of her recent state. Which brings me to the point of all of this.
Oh, there is a
The
point?
book you brought with you. You're very fortunate to have recovered it. If I may. Thank you.
No, you really shouldn't look into this. Like, you know, you should trust it implicitly.
be best if you went through first.
Perhaps it wouldn't.
You may need some time to decide. That is reasonable. Until then, as a token of my good intentions, I will allow you free access to my linking books, cruel though they may be, and to the rest of the Fifth Age.
You are absolutely correct, Mephras. This guy is a
understand,
douche.
there is nothing I want more than a chance to resolve matters between Beatrice and myself.
Yeah?
Especially in light of what has become of Catherine. But unless you are willing to demonstrate to me that your intentions are honorable, I cannot risk it. The sanctuary I've been writing for the islanders is nearly complete. After all these years, it would be a shame if I were unable to finish it. The work I am doing is quite demanding. Please don't signal me unless you've decided to use the book. The switch will reset itself once you link from here.
Okay.
Well, I don't trust him.
Nor should you. But already there are 2 bad ends that we can get to from right here. Oops, excuse me.
Of the Myst games. As I like to call it, somebody took getting too deep into a book. Very
Yeah. Like, honestly, everybody in Myst games is insufferable, but, like, this guy is particularly so. So, already, there are 2 potential bad ends that we can hit. Actually, 3. I'm going to show you one of them. Bad end number 1. This happens if you don't capture Gen and you don't rescue Catherine and you decide that your best course of action is to just open the manhole right now. This also would have happened if I had opened the manhole earlier. You'll see what I mean by open. Because it's already open, but we're gonna open. This is also possible to hit... Oh, wait. I'm an idiot. I can't even get at it this way, can I? Oh, yeah, no, this is the way I have to. Okay, there we go. Alright. So, we're going to change the focus on this. Getting sharper. The emergency stop will prevent you from going any further down, but we disabled it. So we're just going to open up the fissure and hope for the best.
Oh, you're just going to yeet the heck out of her?
Yep. This ending is attainable immediately upon like you can actually do this within a few minutes of starting the game, but it requires you to play through to the point where you can get Gen's journal, and then load the save from the beginning of the game. And it apparently will not let me skip out of this, but that's okay.
It's great.
Yep.
You wanna know the best thing about this ending?
Completely silent?
You never have to listen to Atrus again.
That's true. But in this ending, basically everyone dies except you. And there's no voiceover, and I can't tell if that is intentional or not. And I really wish that I could skip the credit sequence, but it's not going to let me. In the original game, spacebar allowed you to skip stuff like this, but I can't even escape out of it. So I guess we're going to have to just sit here and watch the credits. That is one of the bad ends. John Keston. Here's all the other people. Journals written by pretentious people. Matt O'Hara, cousin of Catherine. Bob Goulian, I think that's the name of the father of that monster from The Hobbit, who lived in the cave and had the ring. James, what a push. I messed that up.
Yeah, you did, but it's fine. You're
Wardrobe assistant was the Pamela bus, driving to a town near you. Steve Mankey and his brother, Bob Primate. Yep. So, all these people were involved.
Why?
Oh, Cass Capsiak. That sounds like some kind of space monster from Star Wars.
It actually sounds like some sort of weird topical medicine. Is it a pharmacist name then?
Okay, are we done? Are we done with the credits?
So that ending, you murdered everybody just so you can drift through space, so you get a little bit of peace and quiet for once, without pretentious people.
Yes. So,
That actually sounds really nice.
start saved game. Okay.
Sterling, what are we doing? Are we being adorable?
So-
we are, aren't we?
Ending number 2. We're going to warp out of here so that dome resets. Or his signal thing. But we're immediately going to warp right back in. And signal. Because pestering people is funny. Okay, I don't need the dramatic swoop every time thing. I've got this. I've seen it.
They're so proud of this, they need to keep showing.
Why is his house a satellite dish?
It's not a satellite dish, it's an ice cream bowl.
That could be an ice cream bowl. I could buy that. I'd buy that for $1. Okay, so now we're gonna signal him again. Hey, buddy.
I'm relieved you've returned.
Yeah, I'm relieved I've returned.
I thought perhaps you had decided against it.
Must have taken you a lot of time to think about that in the 2 seconds I was gone.
Here, I shall follow you directly.
Yeah, I'm still not doing that. I'm just here to
Please.
I'm here to waste your time.
You're free to go. But
Okay, cool.
I think you should not come back unless you're willing to use the book.
I mean, that's one opinion, but
You're gonna keep coming back to pester him like 12 more times, aren't you?
I mean, yeah. Bye, Unky again. Waddle, waddle, waddle. Okay, and again we have to go somewhere. Let's go to this island. We haven't been to this island yet. This is the island that Catherine is actually trapped on. There's not actually anything to see on this island. Well, I mean, there is, and there isn't. But we're going to go here anyway. But let's keep on pestering this guy. There's also supposed to be an ending where if you don't do any of the things you're supposed to do, but have met again, there's supposed to be a bad ending for that that's different from the one that we already saw if you open up the fissure without having done anything. But for some reason it's playing the other version where it just no voiceover plays. Whatever. Hey, buddy.
Short-term memory. I can't remember if I was here or not.
Yeah, did I leave my keys?
All right then, once more.
Yes, once more. Dude, I just want to spend some time with you. Like, let's get to know each other. What you thinking?
Unky again, tell me
The
story.
only now is through this book. Take it.
Nah, I'm good. Thank you.
Wait, did he just shoot you?
Yes, he just shot us.
You see, I have changed. There was a time when I might have let you live. I made that mistake with Atris once. It's a pity you decided not to give me a second chance. But there's still time.
So yeah, if you just pester him too much, he shoots you and you die.
Which is kind of funny.
Yep.
Do you have to go through the credits again?
Yes, it's gonna do the credits again. Yeah, I know.
Alright,
It's-
people, get some popcorn, go to the bathroom. We'll be here for like 12 minutes.
It's okay. There's only a few more endings to go.
We're gonna have to listen to any more of Unky Gen's insufferable dialogue.
I mean, yes. but you know. So yeah,
This is a fair warning to anybody. If Atris ever hands you a book and tells it send you on any fetch quest or anything, slam the book right back in his face and tell him to go do his own goddamn shit. Goddamn pussy.
Yeah, seriously.
It's
Glenn
name
Axworthy.
number one reason why he hasn't just done this himself.
He did actually explain that in his journal at the beginning of the game. It's because he has to constantly be writing in order to, like, stay ahead of the island breaking apart. Like, which leads to a logical contradiction here. Atris believes that these books only link to pre-existing worlds and do not actually create them out of whole cloth, as his father believes. It's touched on lightly in the game, and it's gone into in more detail in the novel. But if that's the case, then how come you can make changes to the book and it makes changes to the world? Like, wouldn't that be impossible if you were just linking to a pre-existing world rather than, like, actually changing it? Like, clearly these things, these books have some kind of magic power to... Rhode Island Historical Society? Why? We based this game on colonization. Okay. So that's bad ending number 2. If you pester again, and then he shoots you. Okay, thank you. Start save game, which is a really weird way to put resume. Okay, so this time, I'll go here again. There's a giant tree, by the way, on this world. Like, you know, just throwing that out there, because the game doesn't really go into it, but, like, that's the trunk of a giant tree. Like, just there, for no reason. Okay. This time, guys, we're getting serious. This time, we're gonna do... This time, we're gonna actually use the book ahead of again. If you remember from way back at the beginning of the game, Atris's journal specifies that this book is a one-person prison, but if somebody else uses it, then the person trapped in there gets displaced, and the new person gets trapped. So, we're going to use that against Gen. He wants us to use the book, we'll use the book, and then he'll follow us, and he'll get trapped in.
I'm relieved you've returned.
Yeah, we saw this already.
I thought perhaps you had decided against it. Here.
So, now we're stuck in the book. By the way, the existence of these prison books was completely retconned after Myst 4. I have no idea how they expected Riven to play out without him, because it's kind of central to the plot, but whatever. Yep, come on, Gen. Notice that he's bringing his gun. Yes, that is exactly the theme, Mephris. He's kind of part English Commodore and part Oh, hi, Sivir TV. Welcome to the stream. So let's go ahead and save our game again. Here, we've got a book that's not working. And nice chicken bone stir stick, I guess. A little model of the bug thing. Yeah, okay, fascinating stuff. Really, really fascinating. This, of course, just powers his books in his room. That'll remove the cage, obviously, so now we can come and go as we please. This thing plays a little ditty. We can't actually leave. Again, locked the door behind him. And here's the lower floor. Yeah. If Gen has a girlfriend or wife, it's never mentioned in this or any other book.
And it certainly ain't her.
Like, he could just be pulling a Matt Gates. There, he's got a wash basin. I mean, that's obviously something that you want to have. Over here, another journal, which just gives you background information that's no longer relevant. A ton of beige shirts, because Gen really has a thing for beige. This thing. Okay, this is a pocket watch, but note the pattern when I open it. Because this is another thing that is generated at the start of every game. It's like tick, tick, ding, tink, ding, something like that, but we're going to have to know that code. And here's his bed with, you know, your typical bedrock. Ha ha ha. So let me why does it Oh, okay. Let me save over Massey 3 right there. Okay.
You
So
want to get that code again just so you know it.
So, here's what happens if you're a complete idiot and you decide to use the book after Gen uses it, knowing that it's a trap.
I don't know exactly why you released me, but you realize, of course, that this must be the end for you. I can't take the chance that you will change your mind again. It may provide you with some solace, however, to know that with this act of self-sacrifice, you have secured your place in history. The Dani culture will be reborn, and the lives of millions will be purified. Thanks to you.
Oh my god, shut up, you imperialist dick.
Yep. So that's bad end number 3. You capture Gen, but then you let him go for reasons. There's at least 2 more endings that we have yet to see. One of which is the good ending, you'll be pleased to know, which is the last ending that we're going to do. I don't know why I couldn't get that one to trigger, but there is supposed to be one where if you've met Gen, but you haven't captured him, and you open the fissure, Atris is supposed to arrive expecting you to have Catherine with you, and when he finds out that you don't, Gen shows up with a couple of his goons and shoots both of you, and you all die. For whatever reason, it didn't trigger, but, like, you know, that's the least of the problems with this version of the game. It's very buggy. I've seen numerous reports of crashes and stuff on this, so, you know, be careful. It's a fun game, but if you buy it on Steam, which is the only version that you're going to get to run on an actual modern PC, if you buy it on Steam, just be aware that, you know, it's got some issues. But it's still a good game. And I do enjoy it, and that's kind of why I'm dragging this out and showing you guys all the endings. But there are 2 more, like I said, to go. The next one is if you open the fissure after capturing Gen, but before rescuing Catherine. So that'll be fun. And I really wish I could skip this for you guys, because we've seen it like 3 times already, but I'm not able to, so thanks for that Steam version of Riven. The city of Santa Fe, New Mexico. Like, what an oddly specific special thanks. Extra special thanks. Ooh, wow, that's... It's getting crazy.
By the time you're done with all the endings, you'll be intimately familiar with all of the cast and crew.
Yeah, seriously. And there we go. Start saved game. Mashi 3. Okay. Here we go. We are going to go back here. I love the vaguely British imperialist thing they gave, because, like, you know, that's how you make someone sinister in America, is you make them British. Like, if they're posh, they're automatically evil. It seems like this device could use, like, a safety mechanism. Like, what if I had my hand out or something, or my foot? Like, I feel like I would just get it chopped off. Okay. Vroom. Come on. You can do it. There. And now I believe we gotta go race over to here. There is a zip mode, but I've got it disabled. Zip mode just makes it so that, like, if you're in the vicinity of something that you visited before, you just instantly transport into that if you want. Okay, so we opened the fissure this time. We've captured Gen, but we haven't saved Catherine. I love the animation that they got for smashing that thing down. It looks like claymation or something. I don't know. Stop motion. Oh, hey, you showed up.
It's about time you got off your ass and did some actual work.
Yeah.
Where's Catherine?
Oh, she's dying.
I don't understand. You've captured Gien, but why did you signal me?
Because shit's fucked, yo. Bye.
There's no time left. The age is collapsing.
Yep. That was me.
I've got to get back before it's too late.
Yep.
Your way is clear. You're free to go home.
Yep.
Farewell, my friend.
By the way, I cannot interrupt this from playing, so I can't even, like, stop it to load a save. Even though we've seen this part of it. Might get a voiceover here. There's a voiceover, I think, in the official ending. The real ending, the good ending.
So much work. Gien is at last defeated, but the price of this defeat is dear. The people of Riven must try to hang on to a world which is dying. And I am sentenced to the futile task of nursing Riven's fatal wounds. Of Catherine, I will never know her fate.
Yep. I mean, you know, you could have turned your mic up or the music down so we could have actually heard that, but yeah. So shit's fucked, yo. Catherine dies, everybody on Riven dies, Atris gets to sit and watch, because that's all Atris ever does. And that's the end. That's the last bad end that apparently I'm going to be able to show you. These are the same people that we've seen, like, 5 times. It's cool. It's okay. Not getting annoyed or frustrated by this at all. Why would I be annoyed or frustrated by being forced to watch the credits, like, over and over again, just to show the nice people at home all of these cool endings to this game with multiple endings? Like, why would that annoy you? PVR, more like PV. Are we doing our jobs right? Shut up, it was funny. Yeah, the Pamela bus. Driving to a town near you again. Yeah, these are names. Oh, they have wigs. Apparently that's the comment. It's just they have wings. Wigs, not wings. They don't have wings, folks. These are normal human beings and not birds. They have wigs, not wings. Like,
I love you.
I mean, yes, that is true, Mephris. It could be just Gen reading the credits in the, like, snooty faux British accent. Like, the original Myst team, John Miller and Simplex Systems. I don't know why he got so deep and loud there. Like, I don't know. Gen says weird stuff, I guess. Ah. Are we done? Are we done? Yes? Can I load my save? Load save? Load a save. Can I? Okay, your music's good, but I don't need to hear all of it. The end? Just let me play your game. Let me do a thing. Let me interact with this interactive experience. please? Ah, thank goodness. Okay. Alright, so one more time to commit to memory. Okay, it's like tick, tick, ding, and then like a little cymbal clash, and then ding.
Do it again.
I'm not doing it again. It takes too long.
Oh.
Oh, and here's pictures. Apparently he does have two, again, something husband. So apparently he did take a wife. And he has some kind of stupid bassoon, and that is either a picture of Gen or a Civil War general for the Confederacy.
I'm sure both are the same.
I mean, yeah, it kind of strikes me as the guy who would fight for the Confederates. Nope. 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 Yes, this one.
Prison Island.
Yes, we're going to Prison Island. This island is almost completely nothing. Like, there's very little here. So it will not take much gameplay for me to get to the good end. Don't want that. We want to seal this. Well, I mean, you know, the world is imploding around us, but it is a very nice day out, so that, you know, it's got that going for it. So yeah, like I said, giant tree. Just, it was here for reasons. They never actually explain why. If you go up here, you can talk to Catherine. Okay, so it's... that... Was that not it? Ah, I did it the wrong way. That reverses the cage, so that now Catherine can leave. If you just pull that handle, you can go up and talk to her, but she just tells you to get the code. Hey, Catherine, put your pants on. We're leaving. She looks kind of embarrassed.
We have to move quickly. Gen's people may already know what's happening. Once we're back with the Moid, he will have time to regroup. Can I see the book? You did it. We're all free. You captured Gen.
I know that. I was there when it happened.
There's still his followers. I'm not sure what I'll do once I realize he's gone. I'll have to get the villagers to safety as soon as possible. You go back to the Temple Island and reopen the fissure. I know it's risky, but it's the only way to signal Atris. I'll try to make it back there as soon as I can, but don't wait for me. Don't forget, the portal combination's in my journal. Good luck.
Yep. I've actually done it several times already, so... Can I... You'll notice, too, that she destroyed the mechanism. Okay, game. Are we done? Can I please have my cursor back? Hello? Jesus. You'll notice that she destroyed the mechanism, so now you can't spin the cage around. You can't get up in there anymore. We gotta reopen this thing. And that's the color code for this island, which is impossible to get before solving the puzzle where you need it. A little salty about that. We said it was 15, 14, 11, 7, 5. The only way to get off this island, because it's so far away from the other ones, you can't even see it from the other islands. The only way to get off this one is to warp. So we're going to warp to the temple. By means of this place, we've got to see the swooping animation again. Okay, are we done? Are we done? Can I work there? Please give me my hand back. Exactly why the cages are back is beyond me. We can turn the signal on. Does nothing, obviously. Maybe not go to that island. Maybe go to the right one. And here we go, folks. This is the last time we're going to see the credits. We just got to open that fissure up, and we'll get the good ending. And I'll put the book away because I'm an idiot. Oh yeah, you should see the full animation again, please. So, yeah, let me spin around like a full 360 degrees before I get the ability to touch it again. Actually, it's more than that. Okay. Close up shop for the last time. The system is incredibly awkward and stupid. But, in case you're wondering, the deal is that, like, this whole elaborate dome system is necessary for to generate enough energy to get the books to form a solid link. That's his problem, is that he needs like a huge burst of energy from an outside source to make the books that he's creating work because of the primitive conditions. Like, they don't have the right ink and they don't have the right paper and blah blah blah. Apparently making magic books is hard. Who knew? You're gonna make me do this. Catherine resets a bunch of stuff so that you can't, like, just go, you know, wandering off wherever you want. By which I mean the game doesn't remember where things are for some reason. Okay, here we go. Once again. Here we go, guys. The planet is kerploding once again. Hey there, Rand Miller, creator of Myst.
There isn't much time. Where's Catherine? Where's the book?
Atris!
I don't...
Oh. Now you can both go and be insufferable somewhere else.
The villagers are safely in the Rebel Age. I thank you.
As do I. You've accomplished more than I could have hoped for. You've given me back my life. The path home is now clear for all of us.
So let's stand here talking.
Yep.
This is where our paths must part. Perhaps we'll meet again someday. You know where to find me.
Yeah, perhaps we'll meet again someday. Like in the next game.
Goodbye, my friend.
I really hope that the abyss that you're about to fall into doesn't kill you.
So they just left you here?
Yes.
Why?
Supposedly this will send us home. That's a vagina.
Or the Eye of Sauron.
Now I understand. Endings and beginnings are within the fissure. That riven cleft of stars that acts as both a wall and a bridge. And though I am unable to understand how, the very flow of stars that brought my Myst book into worthy hands, I am sure served as a safe passage home for my friend. The age of Riven is closed forever, but the people of Riven are free. And now I am at rest, understanding that in books and ages and life, the ending can never truly be written.
I'm pretty sure in books there you can write an ending. Like, I'm pretty sure that that's a central conceit of books, actually. Also, I love how he just kind of like hand waves in the outro there, like, oh, but I'm sure he was fine. He definitely didn't die in space. In fairness, they did say that there was a breathable atmosphere there, but, like, you know, I mean, come on. Like, for all you know, it took over a year for that book to get to the place, and you're gonna die of, like, starvation or thirst.
Or boredom. I mean, they didn't even give you Gen to talk to.
Yeah.
They took him with them, and it's like, at least leave me Gen to talk to. So I have somebody to banter with.
Yeah. So, guys, that is Riven. That is the good ending, the official ending, the canon ending. Riven is a really good game. It's very atmospheric. I love the design of everything. It's very cool, and it's fairly it's fairly consistent with its presentation of the different elements, the different cultures and stuff. Like, it is a bit weird that Gen wrote his journals in English rather than in Dunny, but even then he explains that away as being something that he intentionally did to make it unreadable to anybody who might try to snoop through his journals. So, I mean, you know, it's one of, if not the best Myst games that they've ever produced. I also like Myst 3 a whole lot. Myst 3 is definitely more of a game and less of an experience, but it's a well-designed game and it's fun. I will be doing that eventually. And there are some other games in the series. There's 5 core games, and then there's also Uru, which I'm going to have to do at some point, but Uru is its own thing. And we'll show all of it off eventually, but not next week. Next week, I will be doing something different. And if you guys have any suggestions for what you would like to see, feel free to comment here, or if you're watching this on my YouTube, where I mirror all of my episodes, feel free to comment there as well.
Send him a message, poke him in the ribs.
Yeah.
Show him you love him.
We do have Never Been Played next week on Wednesday, where Nick, my wife, is forced to play video games that she's never played.
Or vice versa, because I've done it to you.
You have done it to me. So that's always fun. We're doing Pirates next week. So Pirate games.
Pirate games.
That'll be cool. And
You're going to make me play Cutthroat Island.
I'm going to make you play Pirates of Darkwater.
I'm okay with
But
that.
until next time, guys, let's quit to DOS.